What's going on, guys? Today we have Falcons versus Secret. I missed map 1 because I was at school.
Gives you wings.
I also missed the G2 round. The G2 versus Secret.
Protection for your dark and the rest of and banish the BO everywhere. Shop now.
Howdy, all your friends.
Yeah, within 4 years, I own my own house.
It's the most money. Skip the debt. Build your future now with Florida Asphalt.
Birthday party ever! Except for the weed. Turns out, it was laced with fentanyl. And a birthday I'll never forget, because it was my last.
Taking fentanyl is like playing Russian roulette. Just a few grains can kill you.
I had to pull an all-nighter. So I took the pill my roommate gave me. I swore it'd be the last time. It was.
Join President Trump's fight to end the fentanyl crisis.
Hi, sweetie, this is your father.
Why did you order tattoo cream? You don't have a tattoo.
18 to 24-year-olds get 6 months of Prime for $0.
When head shaving goes wrong, hiding feels like the only choice. But the Philips Head Shaver Pro makes hiding a thing of the past. With smoothness you'll demand everywhere. The confidence to raise your standards.
God damn it. Didn't know NA.
Friends, we are in
NA
matchup of our playoffs in stage 2.
M80 was the winner.
And what a way to get through. Team Secret are leading the pack here 1-0 against Team Falcons and map 2. Nighthaven Labs just so happens to be Team Secret's pick is up next. What's the story for this one?
Well, we have not seen these two teams play on Nighthaven Labs since EWC.
Oh.
And they both ended their last game at EWC on that map. On one hand, Falcons got eliminated by Space Station on that map. Secret, they took Space Station to that map, they beat them. And afterwards, they took G2 to that map, all the way at EWC Grand Finals, and they won their title on it. So on one hand, Falcons got first rounded because of that map. On the other hand, Team Secret won their first international trophy because of that map. And so we're there. It's no surprise that Secret picks it if it's open, because it should be a comfortable map for them, much more than for Falcons. And with the current momentum that they have, and if Mowgli can carry on what he showed in their first game, Secret might take this 2-0.
I'm really excited for this map, because the way that I think about these two teams is I think about both of them, and they've just put on a terrific clubhouse for us.
Last game.
Nighthaven plays out very similar to clubhouse with breaches, with executes. It's quite perfect. There's not necessarily too much freedom that you get.
Yeah.
And I love it when players have the same routes because they execute them to perfection. You know, Shaiko does it very often. Mowgli just did it in the last map. So I want to see more of that from both of these two teams. I will say it comes down to, again, Secret when they get onto their defensive half, because they're going to be starting on attack as their map pick. When they get onto their defensive half, how dominant can they be?
Teamwork, leadership, individual play. Both of these teams have it all in spades, but Secret are leading and they're looking to take the crown away from their opponents. And look, we are ready for our second map. Perfect timing for it. Let's see if they can close it out, or will Falcons take it to map 3, or Casters await. All yours.
Thank you very much, Milosh. Indeed, it could be our last map of the stage, Tim. And we're going to Labs. I think a surprise pick for many, because Secret over the last year haven't won this map, Tim. They're 0-3 on it, but they picked it out here, I think, knowing what they're coming up against Falcons. And Falcons are probably standing here thinking, Oh, crap. We did not expect this.
Yeah, I think, like you say, maybe... I expect a team like Falcons to come in kind of prepared for anything, but I would always also say probably more prepared for some things than others, and I think this might have been on the lower end of the prepared scale. So look, let's see what we get in the bans. Secret come into this real hot out of the back end of Clubhouse. 5 rounds in a row. I'm interested to see whether that continues at the beginning of this. It was also 5 entry kills in a row at the Then Falcons are going to be on the back foot right from the off. They have got to choose the side, so they take the defense to start with. And the bans that come through will be Hibana and Thermite from Falcons. So breaching already going to be an issue for Secret, who take away Kaid and Mirror.
Really interesting pair of bans as well, where typically you see like double hard breach like at range, or you see double hard breach against the wall like a Thermite and the Maverick, for example. Very typically more the Rangers being taken away, whereas here now you'll see got the Ace on the side, and we have Maverick. I mean, the last time, just to kind of touch it, that these two teams played this map was actually against each other back in stage 1, Tim. It was an 8-7 banger of a game, ridiculously close. Mowgli dropped a 20 bomb as well. Secret just couldn't quite get it over the line in round 15, despite getting the entry in it, and it was Falcons who would go on to take the win. So maybe some level of expectation of what they're going to see from each other. But I also want to see if we're going to see a little bit of Solus, for example, coming out of League Pack on this map as we get into different sites. Perfect map for it, absolutely massive. Good way to take away some of that intel game away from Secret and slow them down a little bit. Won't start on it in this round up here on the top floor. Not really too much hunting to do. I guess it's pretty direct to sight for the most part on this top floor. But let's see what Secret bring to the party with the bans that have taken away those 2 hard breaches from them. Shock Horror, it's Savage on a shield.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Solus, I think Storage is a great site to bring Solus for. I think we'll probably see it if Falcons find themselves making it to the 3rd choice site. Maybe a little bit of basement, but it might be more difficult to get the value there, although you will have a good idea of everything going on above you, so I could see how that might work. We will keep an eye on that, see whether Leak Effect does bring that along or not. Falcons just need a good start here is the top and bottom of it. They've got to slow Secret down. The problem I've got, the concern I've got if I'm a Falcons fan, is look at this aggression coming in straight away. The Glass just getting straight round there and having a peek directly on in from Catwalk door. Savage on the shield, manages to pick up Leaker Pack. 5 versus 4 already, and the bad streak continues. Shaiko does get one, uses the other though. June with an answer, 3 versus 3, and this is crazy in the first minute.
It is, but Falcons have rallied here, Tim, and shut down a lot of this aggression. They've finished off Doom as well with a great play smoke coming out from users. Looking like they can hold on. Adrian and Noah are the ones to try and resuscitate this round, get things going back again. We have got 100 seconds worth of siege still to play, though. It's crazy that it's all happened so soon, because now we've got a lot of time for Secret to figure out how they can save this. We really got to try and force a 2v1 somewhere, but if Falcons are sensible, they won't let that be the case, and they'll close this round out.
I'm also looking to see, of course, how Secret perform across here. It's, you know, not quite a perma ban, but very close to it for them. It's something that they ban out an awful lot of the time, and of course we will continue to ask questions about that map choice, and it's certainly being punished here in the first round. Shaiko managing to take down another 3v1. Adrian will find himself cut down on electrical door, and that wasn't a great start from Secret. When I look at it and I think, right, you know, there's one of 2 things happening here with Secret picking labs. It's either and I really can't see it given that there's an additional 150 SI points on the line. You know, you could look at it and think, well, maybe, you know, they've got Munich Major to think about as well in, you know, just over, what, about 3.5 weeks time. So, you know, maybe not wanting to give too much more away on other maps. So, you know, let's play the perma ban. You know, we don't need to worry about it too much. But there's 150 SI points on the line. So, you know, I don't think you're going to take that gamble. I think you're going to want to make sure that you're getting them won. So that says to me that it's the other option, which is that Secret have been away in that, you know, 84 days since they last played this map, and they've been working on it, and they've been trying to broaden the map pool, and they're thinking, yeah, this is the time to roll it out. We're going to go and get them 150 SI points. We're coming in hot. But given the way that first round went, it doesn't really feel too much like that. They were very unconvincing. They didn't manage to really take any map control. They weren't hold of Catwalk for long. Falcons were able to consistently fight back into every area and take them down. And Secret just looks a little bit lost at sea there. They're going to be attacking this time onto the basement. They don't have the Solus to go up against. That answers the first of our questions. They do have the Buck and the Rams. There's going to be a lot of vertical play. So Secret need to get confident control of this entire map.
Absolutely. And we'll see, of course, if they can find that. Already starting out quite early here with their direct line in towards sight. Noah's here on the book. Bang, bang, bang. Wall has opened up. No real big concern. Of course, C4s can comply. Or a swing can also come. Chaiko asking questions. Adrian giving the answer. But already taking away one here. It's a good start for them. That means no more active tricking onto any walls anywhere. They get rid of those bandit electric charges. They are not coming back.
Drone racing across kitchen there. Not going to find any defenders in there, but there is one inside of storage. Got Breeder to deal with in there. It could be difficult for Breeder. He's got a shotgun, but got shields that could be running at him, and if he gets spotted out here, it could be a reasonably easy process to deal with him, and that leaves only 3 left alive. Instead, the
3 people top, 1 bottom,
focusing out towards the EXO side of things, just getting themselves access to the top of those stairs, in the bending window, and pushing on down as we see. 1 minute 20 into the round, and again, just trying to play this really aggressively. Don't quite catch Leak Effect, but do a lot of damage.
We have to give him an angle here as well. They can see through the wall itself to try and contest onto him. Expecting him to come the hallway though, he's managed to slip by them. They're looking straight in towards side here, Mowgli. They've got the cover they need. He can probably get a plant down. They've got cover from the main breach. As long as that player doesn't go down, this is looking pretty secure right now, Tim. They've got vertical, they've got main breach, a player inside of EXO. This is looking good, but there's one up close, and no! Solotop slipped the net, played up against the breach. They don't have cover onto him. Has managed to upset the apple cart here. Now it's Falcons with a massive man advantage of 4 versus 1. Much better from them so far in these first 2 rounds. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, Falcons looking pretty comfortable there. Again, you know, nothing really that Secret could do to dislodge them. It was kind of very route 1, just get down EXO stairs. I commented at the time, 1 minute 20 into the round, just get aggressive, try and find some kills inside of sight. You know, a little bit of a strange one. It feels that Secret aren't really doing the prep work that they need for these attacks.
I would do a roam clear. Personally, they should have done a roam clear
but if we look at
instead of doing a side hit, because they had all vertical. When Breeder was in storage, they had all vert.
2 out of 8 attacking rounds on this map previously, and
they had all vert. So I don't know why they
to continue at the minute. But for both teams, defense is much the stronger side. It's much like we saw against Falcons and G2 earlier on. We saw
it was a 3-1 roam,
sort of battle,
and you had 4 players up. I would do a 2-2.
The same here. It's
where you 2v2, 2v2 upstairs or 2v2 downstairs.
Right now, it's not looking like Secret.
Then you got to pick on below, and then it's a 2-on-1, and then a 2-on-1. They can get plant down, and then it's a 2. When it's a 2v2 upstairs, they have to focus on vertical below to prevent the plant.
Secret absolutely stonewalling on the second half. We thought Falcons were the ones that were running the show until we got on towards them being on the attack, and then it looked really lethargic and out of sorts. We could yet see the same again here. Could almost be an exact repeat of what we saw in our previous map. So we won't count Secret out just yet, and you never know how Falcons might do on the attack. For me, that's where my concerns and my worries are, is how proficient will they be to how poorly they did on Club.
Gonna have the Maverick working immediately. We saw Breeder's attempts last time. We'll see how Adrian does this time. Just gonna continue working on this. There we go, nice and simple. We see that reinforcement dropping away. It will be opened up, and this is what we like to see at Tier 1 Maverick in. If you know that you're gonna be bringing that operator, you better make sure that you can get it done nice and clean. How about this little battle? Mowgli's gonna take a ton of damage up there, not returned, and Secret back to the drawing board.
Mowgli, half HP, maybe on like 40 HP from that angle from Lucky
I'm not inside the map yet. Surely I'm safe here, right? Right? Not really.
Roam clear. They're doing. Oh my God! Savage accidentally drops the hat.
Got to see him do something else, and the shield really get themselves moving here. Again, he's one of the best shield players, one of the most aggressive we've got in the world.
3-2 Roam.
has got to put it to good use.
Personally, I think that's very good for
They've got traps to deal with them in the Ela and the Legion.
Because this map is like very vertical. You cannot give up vertical.
Still got 3 up on top floor.
Can't give up
well
vertical on
getting that entry.
Black Effect with the C4 on the Mowgli.
Black Effect hits Mowgli with a nitro. Falcons are absolutely
Bro, Black Effect hates Mowgli.
Everything at the minute. Looking at Black Effect's position, storage maybe not.
Psycho's down.
A million miles away.
2 people 19. Monty on Raptors.
Noah 5 versus 6.
3-day shoots on as they're falling down. Psycho's dead.
They know that the damage is done. It doesn't matter.
4v1 doesn't matter.
4v1. They've got themselves, I was going to say back to attack, but Solotov and Users, I tell you now, they are absolutely desperate to get back up them stairs.
Look at he's saving KD. He's talking to his team right now.
D Savage taking a moment to pause there to more talk to his team, and he's still going on even now as well. It's not so much about playing and trying to close out the round, but course correcting for what has gone
maybe
wrong
they didn't.
here
Maybe they didn't do it.
Just feels like every single step they took, Falcons had an answer. They
maybe
knew what
they
was going
didn't
on.
do
They had
it.
to pre-play C4. Everything was just almost like the player was 2 or 3 steps ahead of anything that Secret could do. And just goes to show Tim before we set up to that end of round 2, it looked really dominant to Falcons.
Great smoke grenade to cut out the angle.
Quite drastically. Secret.
Life, Falcons overswing. This could be win. The thing is, he has a damn pistol. He has 4 flashes.
Correct on the go, and hopefully we see a better second quarter because it has been a shutout so far.
Yeah, it's not been pretty for Secret. Like you said, I think the tactical timeout
3-0 Lucky Fact. Tactical timeout by Secret.
You know, panic stations quiet.
I don't think Secret.
We saw exactly this same
oh no, tag timeout. Wait, Secret not getting tag timeout yet.
You know, took that complete rotation on defense.
Wait, is it after bad phase? I think it's after bad phase.
We're able to then fight back in the second half of things. Maybe that's what they're looking for here, is that stronger defensive performance. But I'm just, you know, I continue to be surprised by the Nighthaven pick, given that they have come in here and been completely ineffective on the attack so far. There's the tactical timeout that we expected. But honestly, I just feel like, you know, this is too big a problem to stick a band-aid on.
It is. But again, I wouldn't be too panicked about it just yet. We saw how Falcons attacked on the previous map. This was the map pick coming out for Secret. They will have ideas on this one. Just a few things aren't going according to plan, and that's why you'll see the pause coming in now to get it course corrected. You're going to play those same 3 sites again, most likely. Have a good chance to right the wrongs. They had some good ideas, I thought, throughout the half. Just couldn't quite convert. It was a classic again. You get 90% of the way there, but the last 10% is where you fall short, because that is when you get absolutely slammed. And the one that jumps to mind, and that was the attack on the downstairs. They had everything perfectly set up for a plan, but somehow Solotov managed to slip the net, get right up against the breach, under the nose of Adrian, I want to say it was, on the vertical. And I was just a bit like, guys, like, surely we have the cover on this guy. Like, surely there's protection for your planter. Mowgli would have been going absolutely bonkers, because he should have had cover. There were 3 players all sat around him, watching him, making sure he couldn't be shot. What happens? He gets shot. So sometimes it's those small little things that have cost them. Let's see how things go back up on that top floor again. We'll go through the same 3-site rotation here. Falcons will be the ones to change their tack a little bit here to keep Secret asking questions.
We've had a bans come through. Maverick has been taken away. We've seen obviously a lot of Maverick use consistently every round from Adrian so far, and it's been how they've dealt with that Kaid ban and, you know, the Hibana, the Thermite ban. It's just given them the opportunity to come along. And, you know, they don't need to worry about the Bandit, which they've now banned out anyway. But the Maverick was able to deal with that. That's not going to be the case here. They're only going to have mute jammers to play around, and most of the players they might come up against them, they're going to be able to clear them from underneath. So Secret need to make sure that they're doing that, and they're doing it quickly, but that they're not getting caught out, because Falcons are now in a position where they'll know that that's going to be one of the big methods of dealing with it, so they can always play with a little bit of a lurk underneath and try and catch out anybody like Doom who wants to go in on the book. As it is, quick progress straight away onto the RT breach, so this is good from Secret. Inside of 30 seconds, seeing a little bit more hustle, but that's not the problem that they've really had so far. The problem that they've had so far is not getting in and not getting control, not taking those power positions away from Falcons. That's what they have to do.
We come back to what we heard again and speaking about in his segment that he did with the analysts, where they had a little chat about a couple of rounds, how things played out. You're looking at the lineup again from Falcons, and it feels like, okay, we can just waste time here. We've got Keybers for days, we've got Clash being played behind and Lucy to slow you down. C4s that we can dance around, loads of information. And they look ready to play the Null game too with all these impacts they've got inside. They want to try and keep Noah at bay, essentially. Nice start on the entry to get rid of Rede as well. That takes the C4 off the board, which could have been a massive stinger later into the round, same as it was in the prior. So a good start, but what can we now see them do with it?
Yeah, much better from Secret there. That's what they needed. They get a second as well. Morgan manages to walk in. Shaiko is going to be there for the trade. They do have reinforcements in pocket as well if they want to close up that pillar wall. At the minute, I think it's going to stay open just because of the sheer level of aggression that's being played towards there, and they've got the Clash that can double down and try and hold on to that position. Leak of Fact manages to take down Savage. 3 versus 3 now. Not a huge loss for Secret in terms of utility there. Should be fine, but you can't just keep peeking around corners like that. Leak of Fact's going to punish you. And all of a sudden, Falcons, from a round where they were 3 versus 5, now are in the driving seat. 3 versus 2.
Look at this as well. Shotgun on the side and a long angle at the same time too. The ITA ready to blast around that corner. We've had so many players step up to this angle and just get absolutely beamed by Leak of Fact. And it feels like this one might yet play exactly the same way. No backstab attempt coming on through from either of the last 2 players, not too surprisingly, but that does mean they're held up at these bottlenecks, Tim. They're a little bit stuck here, and it looks like it could be yet another round for Falcons.
Secret, I think, just trying to play the time that they've got left to them, see if anybody gives them an opportunity, gives them a freebie, but it's not going to be the case because it feels like Falcons, you know, I have no idea what went wrong in the second half of Clubhouse. They just look like a different team, but they are now back on fighting form. They are here to win rounds, and they're doing so comfortably. They have somehow, in between those maps, really refocused themselves, locked back in, and they found themselves now 4-0 in the lead.
Yes. Okay, Secret. What can we say? Timeout hasn't saved you. That round arguably even messier than prior ones because they started out so strong and I was like, cool, you got yourself in. We found ourselves the entry. Mowgli's finally on the board. And then they just keep on giving kills away to Leak It Back especially, who was largely sat inside of the same spot inside the side. Didn't have to move his feet too much. Picked up 2 kills and it completely killed all momentum that Secret had. And Adrian, you know, I don't want to call out one person particularly, but I'm going to have to here a little bit. You've just seen your teammate die in the same spot not 5 seconds prior. You step back around, not respected the player at long range. You've got the first kill already, and they paid the price for it off the back of it. It's a hard spot to be in. A few too many silly mistakes there out of Secret, I thought, in terms of the gunfights they were trying to take. Let's see how we go down in the basement, though. They did pretty well last time around in getting walls opened up and having vertical control and looking to force players back with shields. Everything was done correctly, but they didn't get the result that they were looking for. Falcons, again, looking to carry on here and step up to 5-0.
And you wouldn't go against them at the minute. You wouldn't expect almost anything else to happen. Secret just kind of non-existent in this one so far. Maybe they're hoping for that defensive half to be, you know, where they can turn things around, but they need to make sure that they don't lose it before they get there. They're going to be so far behind, it's going to make it extremely difficult, no matter how well they play, get back into it, because they're going to need at this point to be almost mistake-free. See that breaches have come on to those
shock drone
bottom walls so far. That's quick progress. Again, the speed is not something I can fault Secret for, in all honesty. You know, they've gone in there, they've been aggressive, they've moved confidently, they've tried to get the job done quickly, but I think the bigger problem that they're having is that they're not really doing the right job along the way.
No.
Reloading, cover me!
That's the battle. I mean, even here, he's trying to just get inside the building is proving a little bit of an issue. Again, nearly every single player on the side of Falcons is up here on this first floor, willing to wage war, to fight for map control and give nothing to Secret for free. It's a great way to play the game. Again, it can really disrupt teams and slow them down. You get up in their face and you give them issues early in the round. They can't get into the swing of things, and it's a really good way of breaking Secret down, as we've seen happen to them so many times so far. But you've got to have that experience and that discipline as a team to know when's enough, when you need to fall back, what the triggers are going to be. Don't overstay your welcome, or well, you pay for it in your life, and we all know how that tends to end up.
Half of the way through the round, yet to have any kind of real engagement. We saw the little challenge from Leakafak onto the window, but Secret not wanting to, I think, overcommit themselves here. I think this is better than what we saw last time. Last time, a minute 10, minute 15, they were down Exo stairs, they were trying to pressure into site, they were losing lives, and it didn't work out for them. Did they know about Solotov, though? This is the big question. I don't think Secret are going to have a clue about this. It's such a big map, it's so difficult to hold it all down. I think Solotov's going to play a big part in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah. nervous that we're getting towards this point now where time's not far off up. We're only just starting to start getting the verticals opened up. Barely looked down at the sides itself so far. Call coming out from Doom here. No Reletsu coming in just yet. Mowgli again going to find himself going down. 19 and 9 the last map. It'll be 1 and 5 here in just a second. Shaiko collecting the entry in the round itself. 7 and 2. He steps up 2. Things are looking good. And just trying to stave off this pressure now that's starting to build up from the last few players that are still alive and on their feet on the side of Secret as we get into the last 30 seconds.
Solotov's making his move. He's gone into IT, takes out the flank drone. It might well tell Secret that there's somebody somewhere in the map, but all that's going to do, I think at this point, is incite panic. They've just got to ignore that now with 10 seconds left to go and go for it. Users manages to get one, but it's Solotov on the hatch that really breaks the back, takes down Noah Shako with an unfortunate team kill, but it's not going to matter. 2 seconds left to go. Doom can't get anything else. Falcons 5-0 and absolutely cruising on a different level right now.
Make it look a little bit easy, aren't they, really, Tim? Not the outcome I expected with the start of this one. I really thought we'd see again one of the best attacking teams in the world right now come out and do a little bit better on their map pick, but it has not quite been the case. At the most, they can hope for 1 round to give themselves a little bit of breathing room, but with Falcons playing like this, I don't see how they get anything, Tim. That loss streak for Secret going to extend to 0 and 4 at the rate this is going.
Well, at the minute, as I've said, the stats for Secret on Nighthaven are limited, but in the last 6 months, their attacking win rate now on Nighthaven Labs is... It was 2 wins out of 8 rounds. It's now 2 wins out of 13 rounds. Like, it ain't looking pretty. And it's like I said, you know, we are, I'm certain, going to come back time and time again to the map choice. They are the ones that have picked this map to come and play. And it's just a little bit of a surprise to see them still on their attack so far out of their depth. You know, it's you would have expected to see an improvement on that, but if anything, it's got worse since the last time that we saw them play it. Defensive rate, much better. You know, we know that it's a map that defenders quite often will favour, so Secret can hope for maybe better things in the second half, but all they can hope for in the first is that it's not 6-0.
Just weird, isn't it, really? Like, just not what we come to expect, but it's the way that it builds up sometimes. Let's see if they can get anything out of this final round. Certainly not hopeful. I mean, looking at the kills across the entire team, it's a pretty torrid affair. 8 kills across 5 rounds.
Like a 3-2?
Not even 2 per round. That is how dominant it's been by the Falcons side. They've looked absolutely fantastic. 1 more round here and they get a 6-0. 6 bites at the cherry to close out map 2 and send us through to border to decide who gets those 300 SI points.
They're all, by the way, these guys all waiting
to be about all for the time being. Mowgli on the shotgun vendetta combo can always be a good one for the day.
These guys already
to extend that vertical capability if he's going to be tracking underneath.
These are just for SI points. They already
to be a little bit more careful about managing the engagements, of course. But for any time that a track is active, he's going to be on the vendetta anyway. Nade goes in, just trying to force a little bit of movement.
Oh my god, what a kill by Mowgli.
Does very well. Solotov forced by the track.
They don't know it's Aqua.
Into the line of sight. Manages to get the kill. That leaves him with an advantage at least. Secret take the first and the second as Leakenback is down. And it's all piling on now. Secret have figured it out, but it's too late for them really, Des. They may be going to get 1 round on the attack. They could have done with figuring this out a good few rounds ago.
A little bit of breathing room in the second half. Ain't going to hurt too much though, Tim. It just means they've got 2 lives, which just survive when we get into the half. It looks like this should be theirs. However, there is 60 seconds to go. It is a 4 versus 2. We've seen them lose a 2-man advantage already, Tim. Surely not. This is your time to win around, not to throw it away, boys. It's not looking great. At least a track on towards Shaiko coming up. They know exactly where he is.
God,
and if they want, can choose not to engage. Adrian, what are we doing? Why are we stepping in for a fight on Shaiko? They've got a track on, sure, but you're talking about Shaiko, my man. Nowhere they let it come down to this. A 2 versus 1.
There's no way.
And Juma's got to recover this. This is a round that should
never
have been
Shaiko,
lost,
clip.
but it's only gone that way. Shaiko has deleted
God,
a 6-0. And very little breathing room for that Secret to now play with.
Well, I fell into Secret's trap, didn't I?
Psycho's too good.
Absolute bait, Tim.
I swear to God, Psycho's too good.
Straight from the fish market.
For a second, I really thought that they'd sussed it out there on that last attack, that they'd maybe got something going, but no, they've proved me wrong. Falcons 6-0. It's surely a matter of time until they pick up an attack. Falcons' attacking win rate on Night Haven isn't fantastic either. It's 35%. But that's, you know, they just need to get one. Secret, much better on the defense here, but I just can't see them holding Falcons at bay for an entirety. But you know what? We didn't expect them to go 5 rounds in a row on Clubhouse either, and they did. So they're going to try and get that done. I think we're already looking towards border as they've decided. I think it's going to be a hell of a map, to be honest. Secret are trying to keep themselves active. I'm sure it's the least of their worries, but they're trying to keep active the longest current win streak in World Siege, which sits at 9. This could be their 10th win if they're able to secure it. But, you know, also fighting for that 150 additional SI points.
I can't clip it on my damn
gets
phone.
300, loser gets 150, and that's obviously going to be the 4 already looking to. Yeah, but see, they pick up a.
Fuck, I have to clip it.
Bad they looked on Clubhouse when this had switched.
Surely we don't see a 6-6. It just can't happen, right?
Right?
7-0.
I've seen 5-1s come back that way, you know. I think we all remember a very, very popular game on this exact map. It happened in Sao Paulo.
If you ought to know that
it was a pretty fantastic way to close out an incredible series. Very, very emotional. Brilliant.
They're able to.
This is going to put you better to trump that one and have a 6-0 comeback.
Where they can play like
a little bit much.
Impact tricks.
We've spoken before on the desk as well about how some players are looking at Mofi here. A demon on the defense, a little bit less so on the attacking side. Is this where he comes alive and turns that 2-6 into something quite spectacular? We'll find out.
Thelma Charge going to go onto the wall momentarily, I would have thought. Just waiting for a little bit of positioning to happen here, which is going to be Shaiko moving around. Going to have Solotov getting straight on into the map as well. Just there you go, just looking to clear out that corner of Catwalk.
They have Raptors
there and just get the shield moving, get users going forwards. That's the direction that they want pressure applied onto the triple wall.
If they get the Raptors wall,
this elbow position, if you've got an Azami on side, is so
one
key.
8 charge left.
The fact that Falcons have cleared that out quickly is really good.
You got to shoot. Starting point. Chaiko is in on the hunt to find anything anyone tucked away anywhere. Want to offer themselves up just yet.
To get this
that halfway mark in the round. For the most part, this is a very different gameplay already from Secret, where they've ducked quite far back and they've largely given quite a bit of the map over towards the side of Falcons, somewhat invited them in here. They've got a couple of C4s to play behind, sure.
One's below.
Whoa. Falcons played their defense. They were
Who's
so
below?
aggressive in towards Secret.
Zoom is in cafeteria hallway. Zoom has the most important flank of the game.
Bad news.
If he can flank Raptors, this is so good.
It is going to go in just to clear.
But it doesn't quite get Noah out.
Doesn't quite go deep enough. I was just going to say they've cleared these Azami positions out quite well, really, so far, the Falcons, but unable to do so.
Savage, what are we doing, Savage?
Enable Noah to continue playing in the back of side.
C4 goes out. There's a refrag. By Brede.
As Brede
but they
manages
lost
to catch him out with Nitro in hand.
They don't
takes him down
here.
for the trade 4v4, but Falcons need to get moving. Only 30 seconds left.
Let's go. Oh my god, Jumon.
Step across and get rid of a couple here. Jumon's to another. Not looking too bad for Secret. You just keep it as close.
That's a good trade.
They know these last 20 seconds. The clock becomes the
stairs.
He gets down. Step in as he might. I think he's
2v2
June there as well. Great pullback. Noah finding one more at the very least, but it's a 2 versus 1. Uses with a lot to do. Finishes off that kill, but he hasn't got the time here, I'm afraid, Tim. Try as he might, won't be able to finish off even the first one. It's Mogan with 2 kills in the round, and do we see him waking up here on this defensive side?
Well, Secret get themselves the first look. They can only play 1 round at a time at this point. There's no point them thinking further down the line. It's just got to be, round. We're not even playing a best of 3. It's not a best of 1. It's a best of 1 round every single time now. And they've just won round 7. They now look towards round 8. But they've got a lot more steps ahead of them. It was nice from Secret. They didn't, I was a little bit concerned at how easily Falcons cleared them out of elbow and got control of catwalk, but it's always going to be difficult to hold that position if you've got a Blackbeard and a Capitao coming up against you. So, you know, nothing too wrong with that. Noah dipped back into a nice position where he was difficult to reach him with the nades, couldn't clear him out. And Secret actually did a really good job of holding sides.
One round, they literally have to go on a set, an 8-game win
That's the
streak.
important thing, really, because they've been kept so
They need to go
quiet
on
on the
an
attack. If you look across their
win
numbers,
round.
you know, there's nobody
Oh, Falcons.
kills at the minute, and that
Very
includes the last round
unlikely.
there for Secret. It's been very, very
But
quiet.
it
So
does-
these
it does
players,
happen. It
they
can
need
happen.
to be getting into gunfights. They need to be winning them. They need to get those opportunities so that they can start hitting those shots. You know, when you're going up against Shaiko on 10, you got Breeder, Users, 6 apiece. It's difficult when those are the players that have been winning out those gunfights. So good from Team Secret to dig their heels in, get themselves even a toehold, a little bit of ground, a little bit of something to work with, and now they build from there.
Looking back on the cut.
Yeah. Can they do 5 in a row though, Tim?
I'm not sure. I don't think they can.
Juven's gonna be second.
I'm not really a
They
betting
know
man,
he's
but if
here.
I was asked to
They droned him out.
put a
That's
stake down, I'd
crazy
probably
angle.
say, no, they can't.
Wait.
How often do we see these kind of comebacks? It's very, very rare. But we'll give them a chance, Tim. We'll give them a chance. A little bit of belief might go a long way.
Can see this.
Now, at least, obviously, just starting out so early in the round. The same vertical angle that we saw the reverse challenge coming out from Falcons earlier on. Very happy to challenge back up and be aggressive. Secret trying to show the same respect back to the side, give them something to think about early into the round. But it's about making sure everything is cleared out. We've still got June hanging around upstairs, for example. A few players on this first floor looking to control parts of the map. Force Falcons to have to come and fight and take it away
back
from
on a
them.
kill by
But that's a
Noah
key
from
entry.
vertical.
Noah the one going down. Falcons
is
into
still
an advantage,
upstairs.
Tim. Looking good, given there's still 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, it's actually
Noah,
one of the
Doom is
areas
still
Secret
upstairs.
have performed best
Doom
on
is probably has
labs
one of the
so
most
far
important
has
ones
been the
because
entry. They currently,
if
before
Lucky
that
Fact
one, were
doesn't win
5
this
and 2.
one,
It now sits 5
Lucky
and
Fact
3
doesn't
still in
win this
Secret's
one.
favour. The problem they've had is that they haven't been able to close the rounds out. A lot of them, you know, 4 out of the 5 have been overturned by Falcons despite losing
Salta
that
wanna kill by
opener.
Savage.
But
This is
this
not looking
time,
good.
Falcons
This is
get the
not looking
opener
good.
and they double down on it,
Yeah,
and it just
5v1,
goes like a
even
boulder
take it.
rolling downhill.
Yep.
Des, it's picking up momentum,
5v1,
and it's only got
and they have
one
the demo,
target
so
in
that's
its
kind of
sights, and that is to roll over Team Secret. Flawless round.
7-1
Swords up with the final
Team
kill.
Secret.
Falcons closes out on
7-1.
Native Labs in rapid fashion. It's
7-1
going to be
Team Falcons.
7-1,
What am I
and
saying?
Secret, they will, I think,
have
be
it.
going back to the drawing board for Nat Haven Labs.
What was that, Tim? In a rapid
Next
fashion,
map.
was it?
Rapid fashion.
Rapid fashion. Well, Tim, rapid fashion. We're going to a break. Back in a few.
Next map. I don't know what next map is.
Loading new map.
Yeah, see, that's the most important. March up. We'll be back.
Dad, I'm a genius. I figured out how to make us penguins fly.
That's gonna be tricky without wings.
Exactly. That's why I've got Red Bull. It gives you wings. All we have to do is drink it.
And how?
Come on, Dad, just drink it. But why?
Why? It's 40 degrees below. Do you think we're standing here for fun? Red Bull gives you wings, but only if you drink it.
Aww.
Math, history, social studies. It's all been leading up to this moment. Life is short, but lunch is shorter. That's the Lunchables effect.
There have never been
Domino's Best Deal Ever is back. Any hand-tossed, pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online. Last time you got
sausage, bacon,
chicken, spinach,
beef, buffalo sauce.
What are you gonna get this time? Get Domino's $9.99 Best Deal Ever before it's gone. Oh.
You don't have to go off to college and assume debt. It's more than most people make around you, all your friends.
Yeah, within 4 years, I own my own house.
It's the most money I've ever had, to say the least.
Skip the debt. Build your future now with Florida Asphalt Careers.
When it's time to start your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to go from launch to legendary. Bring your brand to life with easy to customize themes. Drag, drop, done. Start selling everywhere people shop, whether they're strolling or scrolling.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream.
And never leave a sale behind with the world's best converting checkout. See why millions of businesses sell with Shopify. Start your free trial today.
Well, you blink and you miss it because Team Secret got absolutely rattled on map 2.
I keep on jinxing things. Did you hear what you said?
What the hell is wrong with you?
This could go to zero. This could go to zero. Every
way.
single time I call something on the desk, the opposite happens. I just jinx Secret into losing.
Can you call Brazil winning the Munich Major though?
Yeah, Brazil will definitely win the Munich Major.
Oh man, the Reddit is gonna be so mad.
Look at his skills from Shaiko, by the way. What an insane game from him. After Mowgli, after the Frenchman on Secret, it's the Frenchman on Falcons. The French are just the best, both in-game and on the desk. It's actually impressive, the amount of multi-kills that he got in that game. Look at him getting hyped. That's the Shaiko I want to see. That's the Shaiko fighting for the European crown. I'm here to see him.
Okay.
Perform so well.
Seems as though the French are on the desk. You can carry on talking, Leo.
You lived in France for pretty much 2 years, Jack.
Yeah, I know the streets of Paris.
I don't think where we were living would be considered the streets in any way, shape, or form.
It was very nice.
Yeah, but that was also very nice performance.
Yeah, it was very nice. I mean, it was also somewhat surprising, I will say. Yeah. I think, we very much set it up that Secret were very, very good on labs, that they won EWC on labs, that Falcons maybe weren't so hot on that map, and Secret saw something that they could exploit. And then, do you know what? Secret couldn't attack. They didn't win a single attack, 6-0.
You know what that means? It means that Falcons won 6 defenses in a row. They didn't lose a single defense.
That's so true.
I'm always here for it, But what's impressive is, why do you pick a map that a team has not shown since EWC? Falcons have been on the rise. They've been progressing throughout the last 2 months. And you're going on a map that they've not shown. Obviously, they will have reworked it. Obviously, they're going to play well on it. And it's exactly what happened.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the French connection here. Shaiko and Mowgli. Let's put them against one another in this series. And what do we get? Still, despite Shaiko's performance, Mowgli still topping by just a bit.
I think it only has to do with the fact that Shaiko played less round in the map where he was really performing compared to Mowgli. But I think that the two of them, honestly, are just impressive so far. We were setting this matchup for Shaiko June head-to-head. So far, it's Mowgli that's really stepping up, and it's even more impressive if you think of how he's been struggling the entire stage.
Do you know what scares the hell out of me? Imagine them both on the same team in a cup where they were competing for France. That would be crazy.
And
Imagine going up against both.
They've already said that they would love to represent French colors as well.
That would be crazy.
You would be coaching the French team?
Both players are just so phenomenally good and are match winners on their day. We saw Mowgli in map 1. We saw Shaco in map 2. Then we get to go to a map 3, a board at a frag fest with 2 of the best fraggers in the world. Blows my mind.
If you tell me, this just means that we are in for a hell of an end to this final. Our grand final of Stage 2 playoffs is going down to the wire. And guess what? It's Border that we land on. We'll see you after the break to talk all about it.
Okay, chitty chat chat.
Welcome back, friends. Our final map in this EML Stage 2 is about to begin. You can tell spirits are high here in the studio, and so are our players awaiting. Team Falcons versus Team Secret on our third border. What sets things apart?
Chaco on his phone.
He's tweeting.
Okay, he's dropping double digits.
Sorry, chap.
Didn't happen. Secret won 1, Falcons won 1. It was both on each other's map pick. But now you just focus all eyes front on border. They cannot be Secret, cannot be going into border still thinking about Nighthaven Labs. If they are still thinking about Nighthaven Labs and different things they could have done, it could be over before it starts.
Yeah.
Falcons, pay attention. It's going to be about the CC. It's going to be about the East Stairs. That's going to be the main 2 areas where the fight is going to happen.
Yeah.
Who wins the first gunfights? Who wins the first few rounds? And that's going to determine, are we going all the way in overtime for the final map of this season? And who's going to be taking the European crown?
Speaking of all the way in overtime, let's have a chat with our casters joining in and getting ready for our final map of this stage. Gentlemen, it's come down to this. We all expected it. We got what we wanted. How do you see this going, Des?
You can't answer that, Milos.
I
don't know. I genuinely don't know until we get into it. You can look at stats. You can look at the last 2 maps. I don't think it stands for Toffee, to be honest with you. This is one of those where I can't call it before. I just want to get in and see who kills who more. Never heard that before. It doesn't mean Toffee.
No, I've heard it, but these two might not have.
No. We have not. We learn something new every day. It'll be a humdinger of a game, won't it, Ace?
It'll be a humdinger that much. It's the problem with border. Look, you can't. It's the toss of a coin. There's going to be gunfights at every boundary. There's going to be attackers that just can't get inside the map. Who knows which way it's going to fall? Honestly, yep, Falcons carry some momentum, but Secret have now got a point to prove. This is anybody's.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Well, if anything, the biggest winners will be us, because as we said, EML, best region in the world, the tightest stage, the closest one we have had in literal years, in the best region in the world, and it comes down to the final map between 2 of the best to play. Team Falcons and Team Secret go to border, and Ace and Des will take us all the way. All yours.
The last time on this stage, thank you very much, Milos. Indeed, Tim, we were asking how many maps we get tonight, and it feels quite right that our last game of the stage happens to be map 3 of the grand final on a map like Border. Secret haven't lost this map in a year, for example. Falcons are 5-2 on it.
Falcons,
They've both got great records here.
59%.
And given what we've seen tonight, I would wager Falcons have been the more defensively aggressive team, should I say. This is a map that I think suits how they've played so far tonight really, really well. But I don't think Secret are going to take that one line down. They'll show a good bit of aggression themselves as well. To kick things off, though, they start on the attack. Let's get into our operator bands.
The zombie band.
The Monte
a zombie band.
No major surprises.
That's
Are we going to have a double down from
because you can hold
Falcons
CCTV
on those
from
shields? Is it going to be another one? No, it
you can
is
also
not.
hold
sorry, yes,
top
it is.
east with it.
So
my
that's so
understanding
blitz
that
and my brain
Falcons
red
gonna
bandit.
do.
We're going to have
I say those names wrong all the time. You just say it. That's different.
I think Falcons might be going for the face track.
Monty and Blitz will be the double shield band coming in from Falcons. They've been punished by Secret
so
with
you do the
shields
castles
before,
and three top east,
so they're not going to be wanting to experience that again. As Army and Mute, interestingly, going to
put a
be
rotated to meeting, and then you put a mirror facing all the way towards.
I was just going to say a bit of Deimos play, a bit of Dorkaby play, a bit of those operators, that Mute can really sort of take away the powers of, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing
for the Habanas. That's my guess.
Absolutely. All right. I mean, the mirror being up definitely makes this quite spicy.
Lucky Fact.
The forward to play between that and the castle and make your border a little bit of a fortress. It's one of those maps that's quite hard to do it on, to be honest with you as well. Since that change came in a good while ago now, where you can put down those castle barricades inside of that red corridor, it opens up some angles for defenders to be able to play. And from what I can see here, we have got one place down to make this 90 hallway a little more defendable for the defenders to play around itself. And here, by the looks of it, even reinforcing off a little bit of office at the same time. The Bravo on the side for Mogi, though, Tim. You know exactly what he's heading for in this round. Give me them evil eyes, baby. Number one being taken away already, and then he loses the drone. Did he get it? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got it. It was a very close one. We're going to see the impact nade come out and just take away the camera. But to be honest,
you are Pikachu, and Ash is just trying to poke a ball at you.
It's more what they're trying to achieve anyway. You know, yeah, it's great if you can use that bubble for yourself, but it's more about getting rid of it because now they can open that mirror window, because that's what that micro was there to protect. It was to protect against the range breach coming in and opening up that window. So that's now going to be possible. Rotero drone is going in and just removing those castles. Secret have done a really good job here of removing utility quickly. 45 seconds gone, and there's a lot of safety that Falcons were kind of sitting behind that they're no longer going to be sitting behind. They now just need this mirror window dealt with, and they are pretty much laughing.
They've got a player at top of the east as well who can see down, of course, straight towards that mirror window and put a bit of pressure onto it, exactly where we can see the Blackbeard now. If they get it taken out, then it opens up the rest of his team.
Oh my God, Psycho!
I just said it happened to him. I was just like,
oh my God!
Get by doing that. And sure enough, Savage's score
Psycho
clean off his shoulders by Shaiko, who starts out the round 4 us again. Falcons, I said it earlier, Tim. I think we were going to see Falcons be quite aggressive on the defense as they have been throughout the day so far.
God.
And that is continuing here. Wanted to give almost nothing over to Secret.
At least he got the mirror window, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
45. Mowgli just saw something break room.
Brilliant.
Brady manages to find one with the Nitro.
Mowgli again,
just
they know he's
carrying his team forward, but certainly has been leading in terms of kills so far. Has been extremely influential today. Continues to be so, managing to get one, but is there for a trade again? Shaiko taken out. It has definitely been the Mowgli show. He just needs one or two others to step up alongside him.
Falcons,
and it's not going to be the case in round 1. Falcons lock it down.
Looking very good for Falcons
the end of the world,
on defense.
But the problem there is that's now what 8 out of the last 9 rounds of Siege have gone to Falcons.
In the past games, they made in your EU, they have made border and attacker.
Whereas on the other side, that
usually it's defender
wasn't
side.
actually a bad round for either side. I thought, like, cool. Falcons put up a really cool defense. They tried to make Secret work for it. Secret, they chewed through that utility very, very quickly.
Looks like for
if not the Savage getting slapped down on the Blackbeard and range by Shaiko, we could be having a very, very different conversation right now. But again, you're just asking for it. You're taking 3 little individual tap fires, hoping to catch the mirror window. You are begging to be swung onto, which is exactly what happens. But again, even beyond that, I thought Secret's attempt at attacking was good. Falcons were just a little bit too prepared from them. So really good first round from both sides, to be fair.
Shaiko on the vigil.
That's wow. I've seen a vigil play by this team for a long time.
Oh, nor have I. If you're looking for...
Back in the Alems days?
I was going to say exactly the same as what I was going to say.
How do they build that synergy?
Psychic link confirmed once again, Des. I was going to say you've got to go all the way back to Alems really to be finding regular vigil play on the side of this roster, but Shaiko's going to bring it. I tell you what, if anybody can hit shots with the SMG-12, it's going to be Shaiko anyway, so it's not really much of an issue. He doesn't have the Bosch G either. So,
he's not a Bosch G.
It looks like the top East tape.
No, not a Bosch G.
Maybe it's the top East tape.
There you go. That should tell you everything you need to know about the Bosch G in its current state. So Shaiko on the vigil. Keep an eye on him. He's there mostly to waste time. Everybody's upstairs apart from Shaiko, as well is the interesting point there. They are going to be defending downstairs, but Falcons just really wanting to put all their eggs in the upstairs basket, if you will, and use those verticals. They've got shotguns on hand to be able to open them up where they need, and it's going to be down to Shaiko. He's in customs. He's there to prevent a push coming through from detention, and being vigil is kind of, I think, just looking to catch anybody out there, but also to make them think twice about rushing into CCTV, because those spikes will be seen if they're drawn into CCTV as well.
I was going to say, we saw the setup coming through from Solitov. I saw this like 3 layers coming out in essence to try and keep everything locked up nice and tight. They managed to get rid of one with the impacts at the bottom, but won't be able to protect the 4th one coming on through, and finally getting rid of that 3rd and final barricade. So now we've got the same again. That nice kid angle down that 90 hallway. Falcons, I think, putting that up to waste a lot of time here, chew through those drones, because now if there is any utility inside the site itself, bulletproof cams, shields if they were on side, although they aren't here, or things like barbed wire, then you haven't really got any of those drones left to clear them out. So I like how they're forcing Secret have to burn a lot of utility and time just to open up standard angles on this map.
The Deimos track, it doesn't really buy Doom anything there. He finds out that Solotov's playing behind the mirror window on the west breach, but, you know, we probably could have discerned that anyway. Well, my magnets here will just protect the leaker back for pressure from archives. I like what Falcons have got going here. They really dug in, but it's going to be Doom to find the first one, takes down Solotov. So maybe it did discern them a little bit more than I might have thought. Takes down the castle, but Usus is there for an answer onto Mowgli. And that leaves us in a 4v4, 50 seconds left to go, and it's a little bit too easy for League. The trade is there from Noah, but again, this war of attrition suits Falcons down to the ground.
Sharko needs to get a wiggle on here. He's coming up main stairs as well in a second, but he needs to be joining his team here as they've largely given away this control. Thought he might come and try and back them up a little bit, but I think otherwise now he's just hanging back that a little bit further. Interesting not to see a Vigil being the one trying to play aggressive around the map, but instead playing a little more passively. Instead saying, you know what, have that top floor, there's 20 seconds left. You drop through this hatch, you're dead. And so they're ready here for what Secret are about to throw at them yet again, Tim. That clock becomes a 6th man for the defenders.
Oh my god,
they didn't do that. Not like that, Tim. The triple for Noah.
Shaiko 1v3,
that's a good way to see it falling on away from you. What can Shaiko do here? Not an awful lot, it turns out. Secret, Noah especially, grabbing that one. Well done.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the play was from Falcons at the end of that round there. Absolutely beautiful cover from Noah. You know, it just goes to show why being on the flank watch is such an important job. He's completely shut that one down. Double kill for him, and it closes out the round for Secret. Good stuff from them. It was a nice attack. They went in, they took top floor control, they dismantled what Falcons were trying to do. It was good from them. Like I said, Falcons' attempt with Shaiko, I think, more was about preventing kind of, not necessarily a rush, but just trying to deal with that horizontal push, kind of making sure there was no pressure coming from detention, from customs, from supply, from all that sort of area. And it's kind of like, just pop him in there. He can keep himself off the radar. He can keep himself off the drones. They might think he's in CCTV. They might think he's downstairs. And, you know, to a degree, I guess maybe it did its job. Nobody came in through there, but it also meant that, you know, his position through most of the round was wasted. So Secret had the advantage then in terms of numbers up on the top floor, able to get the job done. So good round from them. 1-1. And honestly, it's exactly the start that I expected. We've seen, you know, a really one-sided affair in many ways throughout this match. You know, I know that it was a close game to begin with on Clubhouse 7-4, but it was still spells of teams winning 4 and 5 rounds at a time and then coming back into it. So we haven't really seen this back and forth play between these two so far, and it's nice to get some of it on board.
It is, yeah. Nice to see it not being lopsided one side, towards one side, as you say, is what we've seen across the former 2 maps. But let's see how things build up. We've got Solotov here. I tell Leakerpat's going to be heartbroken about this. Not getting to play on the Soulless. Instead, it's Solotov on those duties. And We saw, what, 8 of 12 rounds, I think we said, back on our first map of the series. I think we see quite a bit of it here on Border, but obviously, you try to play so aggressively out around the map. It's a great opportunity to chew through the information, slow down the attackers. Really on Border, anything you can do to impede the attackers and slow them down is generally a win. Because as many teams will say, you hate maps like Border because it's so gunfight heavy. It's a very boxy map. You can do a lot of work without even stepping foot inside the building itself. And so I think the Solotop here on the Solus really is looking to slow things down just a little bit more to help his team out.
Sensor on. Searching for electronics.
Gonna just be continuing to hold CCTV. It's Breedy elsewhere who manages to pick up Doom. That's the Deimos. Big loss again.
Yeah,
the power of that gadget, and it's now something the Falcons don't need to worry about, especially with that mute ban. It really suggests, as I said at the beginning, that Team Secret are going to be leaning into the Deimos, into the Dokubi, trying to use those gadgets, and having it taken away is not a help when one of your bans has gone to support it. Savage does manage to find something at least, taking down Solotov and the Solus, so that is one gone, but it's not looking good for Secret as League of Fact manages to pick up Adrian. That's the Twitch off the board. Bottom of main stairs, Mowgli does find League of Fact on the rotation, brings us back to a 3v2, and Mowgli's able to just dip down underneath and start looking to apply a little bit of horizontal pressure through Workshop.
Trying to turn to a very deadly set of stairs there for the side of Falcons. Anytime they've tried to challenge up it, they've just been carved apart. No, Mowgli doesn't really matter. Not quite the same though when he's trying to shoot through a soft wall. Picked off by users on the other side of it, and now it's a Noah left in a 1v3.
3-2.
You know how that ends, Tim. It's going to be a Falcons win. They go up 2-1.
Yeah, the Secret seemed to sort of give up on that top floor clearance. Mowgli was up there. It was, you know, he ran up there and he was just about sort of challenging towards Armory or towards kind of underneath default cam on elbow, but it never really happened, and he went back downstairs and into Workshop, and then Adrian joined him down there as well, and they've just seen why you can't do that. Users is up there in Fountain, just moves across to the Archives hatch, gets himself a cheap kill onto Mowgli, no problem, job done. And so yeah, Secret, you've got to commit to it really. I think time was probably the factor. It forced them away. They couldn't just keep you know, trying to play through those mirror windows, and that's why we've seen the mirror ban come out, because it's just been burning so much time against them. I think that's a good shout from Team Secret. Maybe it'll buy them a couple of rounds. It'll certainly buy them a little bit more time in this second half, and Falcons by contrast take away the Deimos. Not having the mute, not being able to stop those tracks, they've suffered to it a little bit so far, and they decide they don't want any more of that action.
He's very, very reasonable to not want to deal with it much longer. Look on the other side, the mirror, as we've seen used across the majority of those rounds. In fact, across all three of them, the first two especially, saw it used very aggressively around 90. That will take away at least some of the sting that the attackers had to deal with there to Secret. After to take it off the board, Falcon's going to have to adapt that a little bit now, including not bringing along a castle. So going back to more, dare I say, tried and tested, bread and butter style setups here. Of course, mainly the operators looking across that line. That would be Shaiko on the Legion. Same sort of role, you know, one of his go-to operators as well. Loves playing on the Legion. A lot of traps to try and impede shields. But of course, with those Gumais no longer being invisible, well, they can still do a little bit of work if you are truly blind, but often teams can find them on drones and deal with them before they become a real issue.
Watching up there, Matt actually get his opportunity here. It was Leakafak, I'm almost certain, that was just having a look down there, didn't decide to peek, so didn't expose himself, and like ships passing in the night, neither will see each other there, and they will continue to hold their positions almost from top east. Noah nearly finds his man, but it's going to be Breeder to open things up with a kill onto Doom. Mowgli again, 4 and 3, and he just seems to continually step into the breach when Secret are pushed to take a backwards step. He's there to brace them against the wall and push them back into the fray.
Do they know? Surely they know. Yeah, they have the idea. Almost getting rid of Savage. Pokeball should be enough. And there we go. Savage captured, tied up tight. But it's instantly a trade. Adrian steps in. Noah off towards the south, collects one more onto Breede. A good step forward from Secret, and they've got a numbers advantage. The fair wacky utility to work with here, Tim, and a bucket load of time.
Mowgli again, just going to hold that angle. He's had quite a lot of joy on both sides of the coin, really. Holding the pixels, we've seen him hit a couple of nice shots, but then taking on those swings and getting aggressive has also paid off for him at times. Solotov is going to take out the drone, 2v3. Him and users both just locked back inside a site, waiting for the fights to come. But the problem that they've got is they're trying to burn out the round. There's 1 minute 10 left on the clock. There is an awful lot of time for the attackers to use here. Secret can just kind of cajole them, just push them around and wait for those opportunities to arise.
So
Solotov, it's a beauty of a double bolt. Has Mowgli got an answer? If anybody
50 seconds there. Solotov is so good.
Oh no, not quite. Solotov, a massive 3K to close the round. And that's them up 3-1. Just in a spot where it looked for a second like, oh, great. Secret in control here. Got a 3 versus 2. Got 100 seconds to work with. Loads of utility. And then Solotov pulls out one of those moments, Tim. Just one of those magic moments that we spoke about a lot for G2 yesterday. The hero plays, as we call them. When a player steps up big when you need him most. You know, strategy can be on point, but sometimes you just need players to pop off and do something a little bit crazy. And this couple of kills out of Solotov was exactly it. Takes all the sting out of the attack and wins the 1v1. Beautiful stuff.
Like fired up as always. And a tactical timeout coming in from Team Secret as they hit that 3-1 deficit. Rather than round 3 this time, it's round 4. But Twister's going to have some input here and try to change the trajectory. I'm just looking at the stats for these two teams on Border as well. We would expect, realistically, attackers generally. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like wildly attacker leaning, but we would expect them to do pretty well. It's once they get inside the building, that's the important point. If you can get yourself established and start building an attack from there, you'll usually do a little bit better. But it feels like it's been a little bit scrappy at times for Secret, trying to get established. They're losing people along the way. I'm not saying they're not getting in the map, but they're not always getting that confident control where they're going in, getting a kill, taking over a couple of rooms, getting back on the drones and starting building from there. It just seems to be that Falcons are taking the fight to them. So everywhere they go, it's like gunfight, 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 gunfight. And they never like building that beachhead and building that attack on from there. But if you look at previous Falcons, only 50% defensive win rate historically, 56% on attack. It's not a great map for them overall, despite the fact that they tend to go on and win it. You know, whereas we look at Team Secret's rate, 60% attacking win rate, 68% on defense. So Falcons are doing the right thing here. They're collecting rounds whilst they can until Secret get onto that stronger side for them, which is going to be the defense. So make no mistake, it's going to be a different looking second half, I think, and Falcons need to make hay while the sun shines.
Absolutely. Well, now is the golden time. You've had that timeout. It's the one that you get in the entire game. Try and get something going, because I can imagine they're feeling the fear of God a little bit here. Border being one of our most attacker-leaning maps, you need the majority of rounds really coming off the back of it. So far, they've collected a measly 1. At least here they're cooking summits, and I'm loving the look of the lineup they've got. They really want to hit. Falcons hard here, smoke's being deployed, guards inside the window, stepping inside the building. Will they get away with anything? Look to the one, but can't quite find it. If nothing else, actually, it's kills going the other way. 2 to Falcons so far. They've staved off most of the aggression.
But it doesn't look like it goes Secret plays. Falcons know that they're doing it.
Yeah, certainly not finding the answers at the moment. They do still have a shield on side with Savage just trying to work his way across with the fuse. Also has 4 of those cluster charges, so can get those going in from above. But again, confident control. They need to get in there and they need to get these kills on the top floor. They've got 2 that they're up against. Find those kills, start using those gadgets, but again, Savage is just being chipped away at. Falcons, and then he's going to be taken down with a headshot from Shaiko. Leaves now Doom in a 1v3. He's on the secondary because he's the class. He doesn't want to be roaming around with the sniper. That's a beautiful shot on Shaiko. Absolutely slams him 1v2. This becomes a little bit more doable. Plenty of time for him to work with.
Yeah, falling back towards the site, though, which is the main worry for me. Now, with the rifle, can get some verticals going if you so sorely want. Of course, makes a hell of a lot of noise doing it, though, Tim. I can barely hear my ears. Like, they're ringing out now. They know exactly where he is, though, know what he's up to. So if the Falcons players are sensible, which of course they are, they shouldn't be giving him anything on the vertical here. Don't give him a 1 versus 1. You play for the crossfire. Same as you've seen them do all night long. And this one is yours for the taking. Doom just being so careful about his approach, though. Knows that he's got a golden chance here to clutch up big. Does he see his man? Yes, he does. Now forces out the 1v1, but he's got to win this one, Tim. Solotov's already won a 1 versus 1 in this game.
Oh, no, Solotov is too good.
Of course he can, Tim. They're up 4 4-on-1, and that solely is off the back of Solotov yet again.
You got to feel for Doom there. Does everything right in that situation. Gets himself back into it and almost turns it around, but just cannot get it done because he comes up against that 1v1 monster. Solotov, so far, as you say, second in this game, and he is just one of those players, one of those clutch players that's going to drag those rounds over the line for the team. Brilliant stuff from him, and that puts a serious lead on the side of Falcons at the minute. 4-1. Like I said, do not despair, Secret fans. There is a better second half coming from them when they get onto the defense.
Is there, Tim?
Yes.
Is there, Tim?
Yeah, there will be, mark my words, a better second half defensive performance from Secret. The question is, can Falcons get themselves enough nuts stored away for the winter, Des, so that they can get it over the line when the darkness sets in?
Sadly, Tim, winter has already come, and it looks like a Falcon. They are absolutely slamming Secret 4-on-1 on the defensive border, of all things. The reason why I don't think you're going to see a particularly strong half on them, again, is Falcons attacking on this map. It's definitely nothing to turn your nose up at. It might not be one of our one of our strongest attacking teams, but still very, very proficient on a map like Border. They're going to look even better. Secret in their 6th round are going to try and hit this one hard. Again, we've got the Sens on side, we've got the Ying, we've got the Dokkaebi, we've got another shield charging as well, Tim. They've got all the right tools, but like we saw last round, right tools doesn't always guarantee the desired outcome, and that's where I feel a bit nervous for them. Gotta see him do something special. Oh dear. I was like, Solotov, surely not.
Going to be Bathroom and Tellers that they're looking to hold on to. And going to have the Sense Gadget immediately wheeling out here. Look at this aggression coming in. Doom is going to pick up the first kill. Candela's go in. That's Solotov taken out. Big loss with that Solus gone. We've spoken about the Solus that led so far today with those recent changes that have just come in today. And he's been getting used to great effect, but will not be the case this time. The Solus 5 versus 5. I really thought there was going to be an attempt to just get in through the window and get the diffuser down there, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a ranked play, just kind of throw it all in and see what sticks, but Secret have dipped away from that despite using a number of Candelas, and they're going to be punished as Likafat gets himself a piece. He's got a problem here. He's going to try to back him up with the Toxic Pit, but he can't as Mowgli is there for the trade. East is now in control of Team Secret, and they can start working down towards this Teller's side.
Once Workshop.
So I'm probably just thinking that he's had to clutch this game. It's someone else's turn in this round to hold out Falcons. Yet again, they find themselves in this numbers disadvantage. A lot of things coming their way. Flashes galore, frag grenades, another Dokkaebi call, light screens. There is a lot
left. 1 minute
that the attackers have got to work with here, Tim. It's looking good for them to get this round over the line. I say that, but there's been 2 rounds to half, I'd say, where they should have been good to get around over the line. And they got clutched upon by Solotov, but the plant is going down. No C4 to stop this one, Tim. It's looking good.
Yeah, I think this is likely a Secret round. Users is just trying to get himself onto the flank. It's going to have to be something special. Nade is there. He's flashed out. Look at all the utility coming in, and he still manages to take down Mowgli, who was just hopping in the window for some reason, but he's got one in behind the bomb chassis. The problem is the challenges are going to come from elsewhere. Tries to force him out with this auto canister, but to be honest, Boy can just sit in behind there anyway. As he moves across to go for the kill, he's going to be taken down. Secret get the round 4-2. Honestly, I don't think that's the end of the world for Team Secret.
No, I was about to say, just then, like, you're probably disappointed you've only got 2 rounds, but you will take it. Especially given with how many of those rounds are quite dominant towards Falcons. You know, Solotov again winning out 2 1v1s. Those moments you look at and say, we could be looking at a 4-2 to Secret, and suddenly it feels like a successful attacking half. It has been close to the wire, but all that matters are those numbers at the top of your screen. 4-2 right now, with Falcons going on to the attacking side. Do we see another dismal attacking performance, or the Falcons show us what they can do? I think we're going to see more of the latter, but we'll find out once things get underway. A Warden ban coming out, Tim, generally is pretty indicative of what you can expect.
Yeah, not too much of a surprise there. Not wanting to suffer to the smokes, to the glass, to the Ying, to all the many problems that can stack up that Warden can deal with. We just see Leaker back getting cornered here. You can see straight away the reaction from Secret was great there. You had Savage, Doom, Mowgli all working together to kind of push Leaker back and make sure that that position was a no-win situation. And it was just it was all round a much better attack from Team Secret, able to get in, get that diffuser down, create space by getting those kills much better. And honestly, I think we're going to see a little bit of a different beast come out from them now that they've got themselves on the defense. I think the big question to me, at least, maybe I'll be proved wrong, but the big question to me is, can Secret get this done in regulation with a 5-1 or better, or are we going to be heading towards overtime?
I don't think we see OT personally. I think we're just seeing a little bit more like X factor coming out from the Falcons players tonight overall. And I just think we're probably going to find that they're a bit warm after the previous map, and after that very successful first half, I think they can probably see this one over the line and done. Nothing crazy or explosive here. No shield rushes. No Candela spam.
4-2 looking very good for
Even with the Warden ban coming on through. Me probably also leans in towards the fact that you'll see that come a little bit later on down the line. For now, much more of a kind of very standard Falcon style setup. You've got the Dockery and the Deimos pairing coming on that we're used to seeing. Heartbreach coming out there. The Sens really is the one thing you look at and might say, that isn't Super Falcons, sure, but it's more map specific here. It's why you're seeing it being wheeled out. See what they can get done with it.
Is 2F locker.
Watching for the run out, just making sure that they don't get caught out. Almost trying to bait it by getting the player on rappel and see if anybody will take a nibble. They don't. Solotov takes down Mowgli, which is always a great start for Falcons, but Noah is there for a little one-tap return, picks up the head of Solotov, leaves us now 4 versus 4. Dokkaebi down is a big loss for Falcons, especially with those phone calls in pocket. Might not be the end of the world, because we're not going to find this being a heavy roam kind of site. So Secret, you know, they're not going to be playing too far away where those Dokkaebi phone calls are maybe going to disrupt them, but still a big loss.
Key one worth noting, of course, if Falcons win this, they're the ones that are currently outside our top 10 teams in the global standings. A bunch of the teams sit above them right now. They're the ones that have got the most work to do compared to Secret and G2.
Flipping to a top
they win this one, I think, without even getting any points at the major. You get at least 50 from turning up.
Question is,
but they'll get 300 points. That would basically guarantee that they will be at SI. They're basically almost guaranteed now, but it will most definitely lock them in 100%. So it still means quite a lot, I think, to Falcons to get this one over the line and see things done and not have to worry about what happens at Munich. We know how their curse at events over the last year has stung them more times than once. In fact, 3 times they've been in grand finals and not been able to quite get the job done. Ingo's 3-day nice and deep. He's trying to find a spot that is safe to plant in, Tim. Not quite able to get away with it either, as Doom is nice and close. It's not looking too pretty. Looks like this first round may well go the way of Secret.
Yeah, as expected, I think, really. Like I said, Secret are always going to have a big fight back in on border and continue to prove that. 4-2, Breede low health. Big fact trying to move up his stairs, just get something going. At this point, Team Secret are full and back to site, apart from the one left out in CCTV room, which is Noah. And don't think there's too much hope here. Secret are going to give them absolutely nothing. There you go, Breede taken down there, drops at his feet as well. That's unfortunate, but natural kill will be the final one to take out the last man. 3-4, we see ourselves on the scoreboard now, and Secret, the fight back begins.
Very interesting. Granted, first round, I'll wait until the second till I kind of form any major judgments, to be fair, but again, Secret have defended really well. They're largely held back, and that thing that I spoke about earlier on where Falcons have been more aggressive in pressing out around the map and trying to challenge all the time, that has remained true, where Secret have been a little bit more dug in. The way that we've seen them play, you know, back on Nighthaven is a great example of that. They do play a little bit more passively overall, I think, and that's not strictly a bad thing. As you've shown there, they can play a more turtle setup incredibly well. Got themselves a couple of kills, hunkered down, played forward from there. Different play styles aren't a bad thing, but it does give more opportunity, I'd say, towards Falcons to be able to exploit that. I really want to see him capitalise on the fact there's a Warden ban that's come on through here. Nothing in that first round lent in towards it. Now might be a good time to roll out a Ying and see what you can get done.
I'd like to see kind of, you know, more execute heavy play coming out of Falcons, creating a bit of space, putting the diffuser down, like you say, using that utility, but using it. I always talk about this selling. What are you selling your utility for? You don't want to give it away for free. What do you get? Let's get it used. Let's get the Candelas in there and create a bit of space to put the diffuser down, not just put them in there to back people up a little bit and then don't follow it in, and nothing really comes of it. Get in there, get aggressive behind it, take the space, take command of it, and get the diffuser down. We've only seen one plant so far on board. It came from Savage at the end of round 6, and I'd like to see Falcons maybe just going down that road and thinking. We have a look through sort of previous rounds. No plants on that Haven Labs, only one on Clubhouse. It's been, kind of really devoid of rounds being won in that way. So, maybe it's a way to just sort of shift the paradigm a little bit.
Which is really funny because these are our 2 best planting teams in the league as well. Like, Secret plants in 1/3 of their attacks, which is balmy. Falcons in about 1 in every 4 or so. But as you say, we've barely seen any so far today. So start here, always the focus is going to be on East Stairs, and that's exactly where Falcons have been prying on a little bit of pressure. Candela's being used very early on as well as a phone call as well, stressing, but no one's inside the map at this point. This is a lot being used by Falcons just to try and get a little bit of pressure into the map. I'm not quite sure this is the play, Tim.
No, I would agree with you. Leakyfat's just going to hold his patience for a moment there. Sure, this is going to be a little jump out. Too easy. Mowgli manages to pick up Leakyfat, who strayed away from that window. Solitov a moment before, though, did take out Savage. So that's going to be the mute gun and probably a nitro with him as well. Shaiko takes down June 4 versus 3 Falcons now. Need to get themselves inside the map. Look across the bottom of your screen. Nobody's in the map. It's halfway through the round. They've got 2 kills and they haven't taken any ground at all.
They need to get off Fenris.
Starting to make it happen now as another phone call's going to come on through here as well. Mowgli's on the mute jammer. Really should have known about that one, Tim, but they didn't hear the phone call. Relied on that information far too heavily. They paid the price for it. Shaiko almost getting a shot off, but just not quite able to beat his adversary on this occasion. We're down to a 3v3. No utility left for the Ying to hit site with here, Tim. This could be too pretty in Solitov.
2v2.
Just finally get away with the kill, though, into a 2 versus 2. Another one of those rounds, Tim, where it's anyone's to win.
Mowgli currently sat 10 and 7, really dominating things for Team Secret. Maybe just needs that little bit of backup, and Noah could be exactly that. Manages to find the kill onto users. Breeder is going to try to throw this down. I said I wanted plants. He threatens to give me one, but then comes off looking for the fights instead. Continually trying to play with that sound, but it's Mowgli who manages to pick up the final kill. Team Secret level things up 4-4. And all of a sudden, Des, as I suggested, it ain't looking too pretty for Secret right now. Sorry, for Falcons. It's looking fantastic for Secret.
Ain't it just? Yeah, it's another Mowgli thing again. Like, just we swap sides and he goes a little bit nuclear. It's crazy. I don't know what it is, but really kind of flips the switch when he changes sides at the best of times. That's now the, I want to say, the 4th round in a row where we've seen a 3K or better from a player on Team Secret.
Yeah.
Really have woken up. They've now won 3 of those last 4 rounds. Have warmed themselves into the game. If I was Falcons, I'd start to feel a little bit worried here because, again, if not for Solitov winning those 2 clutch rounds, you'd be at match point now and down 6-2. That is actually the sign of, despite how dire the scoreline looked in the first half, how close Secret would be to winning this game already.
Solitov has had the opening kill in the last 2 rounds, but Falcons just haven't been able to convert it. So that's something for you to keep an eye on this round. The Falcons come away with that entry? If they do, are they able to then secure the round? Because so far, Team Secret have shown, despite playing with a man disadvantage at times, it has still been possible for them to get it done. We seem to have somewhat of a web being built by Noah on the Denari. Those trip connectors just being put around CCTV, try and keep him in position. We, of course, have had a little buff to them today. The main element of it, they have changed, so it comes back online immediately when line of sight is gained, rather than having that small delay that we saw. But the main change is that the damage has gone up to 20, so that just changes things up a little bit. Maybe their lethality as well. No, you've lost your barbed wire. You
have to do a lot of work and stack a lot of them together to be able to get an insta-kill, but it's still a good deterrent. Of course, every point of HP does help, but at this point, Denari is gone. So all that chatter about him, it stands for nothing, Tim.
Yeah, I'm really... It's such a little thing, but...
You sounded so depressed.
I just don't know why you'd throw an impact nade at a drone. I don't know. You've lost your barbed wire on that window. I think, you know, maybe at this point you think, oh, nobody's coming that way. I don't know why you lose that utility for that reason.
I thought you were on about like feeling really, really sorry for the drone there, like it was defenseless.
No, I don't care about the drone. I just don't know why you throw an impact nade at it when it's sat in your barbed wire.
Don't worry, Tim. We'll
bury
the drone in the garden later
tonight. They're already in sight.
Well, it looks
they
like
already get it down.
buried
Yeah,
in this one.
5v2,
Manages to get himself a double Doom and Savage taken down. Falcons just looking to get
right
some momentum built on the attack. They haven't won one yet, and if they can just get anything going, Solitov picks up Adrian, and look at this. Deimos tracked. That could be phone call. There was just nothing else going to happen there. Solitov gets that final kill onto Mowgli, closes it out. Team Secret, that's the first round that they have lost on defense yet. Puts us at 5-4. If things continue through 10, 11, and 12, as they have done through 7, 8, 9, it'll see us in overtime, Des. As if this one was ever going to end anywhere else.
Yeah.
I'm confident in saying it. I'm confident.
All right, we'll see.
I'll say the line now. I'll say it.
No, you don't need to say it, Tim. You can wait 3 rounds.
I'll say it.
Tim, don't say the line. You can say half of it.
Which half?
I'll let you pick that one.
I'm trying to figure out what is half.
Sure, I mean, if you include my name at the end, then you have to slice it out.
I'm not going to do that bit. I was going to do the beginning. We're going to round 10, Des. We've got a few more to play. We've got a few more to play before we end up heading towards those extra rounds. 5-4 Falcons. I think that was actually a really important round for Falcons to win. I think if Team Secret just, go 3 defensive rounds completely, get themselves into the lead as well, it's a big problem for Falcons there, whereas now they know they just need to snatch one more attack, and you get yourself at least that promise of overtime. It gets you something, and I think that's a big thing, because Secret now are facing having to do 3 in a row to get this over the line, and it's a bit more of an ask, is that. So yeah, tough one from Secret's position to get this done in regulation.
If I had an air klaxon, Tim, it'd be going off right now, because look at this lineup from Falcons.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm already feeling sick about it. That is a lot of cheese. Stinks out here. Rush their way through, blind everyone out with 2 operators, vocals going up, Leakerback's bringing a bat through the window somewhere. Oh, wow, you can't run away. Shoko's got a scan on you. Sounds horrific in concept and in principle, but it depends, of course, if they can keep all players alive until they hit the point of execute. Tim, you said a couple of rounds ago you want to see Falcons go for an execute-focused composition. You've got it. Let's see what they can pull off up through the hatch.
Let's see if they can put the diffuser down again. Breeder managed it in the last round. Maybe that has, been the spark for them to say, look, we just need to play the execution game. Don't worry about taking the gunfights. Don't worry about taking the whole map over. Let's just get in there and put the diffuser down on the ground. Jesus currently is out by sandwich window, I think, with diffuser in hand. And he's going to be on the Ying.
Move up the hatch, SCC,
execute. But it's not looking pretty as June manages to find one. But somehow, Leakerfact comes away with a kill. Can he find himself a second? Adrian is going to burn out Breedy, and it just feels like everything has stalled for Falcons here. Leakerfact is in deep trouble. He's running, but he's running into the arms of Adrian, who cuts him down, and that leaves us now 4v2, 3v2 after the trade comes in from Solitov, but this looks good for Secret.
5-4 as well, and yep, User's left all alone here with 2 Candelas in back pocket, and at least he has the diffuser and a smoke in back pocket. And give it a go, but there's definitely work to be done here. Going to round his way instead towards east, maybe. Keep himself busy on this side of the map. They know exactly what's going on. There should be no surprises here, really, for the defenders. Secret in a good spot, and sure enough, Savage is out there. A couple of shotgun pumps to the back is enough to get them back square, Tim. 5-5.
We're going to see at least a full 12 rounds, maybe a few additional ones at the end of this. We will see. But yeah, Secret, I think, very quickly back in the driving seat there. honestly, I think it's going to come down to bathroom and tellers. I think we see ventilation workshop. Oh, we've got a tactical timeout coming in from Falcons. I think we see the same rotation, so we will see ventilation workshop coming in from Secret, although they do have the option of doing it the other way around because they lost bathroom and tellers. They could go back there now. I think I'd do that, you know. I'd go back to bathroom tellers now, get the win there, and then you're ending or trying to end things on a site that you've already won in ventilation workshop. I think I'd take the gamble now and go to bathroom tellers if I'm Secret.
Falcons know that really they should be the ones that in the advantageous position on this map. Instead, all things are square, and I'm with you, Tim. You've been halfway there already. You now set towards being 3/4 of the way there.
I think I am.
You can. You can find a way to creatively use 3/4 of the line. Take the full one, of course, when we get all the way there. As it stands, it looks like there's only one way this game is going, Tim. And again, what a way to close out the final best of 3 of the stage and crown our stage champion. We've also got things like the regional finals to think about in December. So those announced earlier on, 6th and 7th of December in Malta. Wonderful place to be. I lived there for like 8 months. Fully recommend going if you're looking for somewhere a little bit warmer.
A little bit of summer sun. Winter sun, sorry.
The winter sun.
Yeah!
It's nice over there. It's cool. Not too expensive either. You have a great time in Malta. You'll enjoy it. Watch some good Siege. Go checking out the island. So if you are interested, head to the website, check out some tickets. I'm sure you'll have a great time.
10 seconds to insertion.
Let's see who's going to be having a great time out of this. 2 rounds for one of these teams to be able to grab a hold of this and take those extra 150 SI points. As a reminder, what's at stake here? This is, of course, the Stage 2 playoffs. Both teams being in the grand final have already qualified to the Munich Major. That is locked in. That's not going to change. But the big difference here is there's a little bit of money as well, extra for the winner, but also probably more of the focus is those SI points. Everybody wants to make sure they are qualifying to SI. I think at the minute I'm right in saying it may have changed since Falcons won earlier and guaranteed themselves 150 rather than 100, but Secret were the only ones in the top 10 out of these 2 teams when we look at the SI standings in terms of points. I don't think Falcons had made it into the top 10 at this point, but it may well have changed now. They've got the additional 100. They'll have crept up the table considerably, I would imagine, but do not be fooled. They will be looking for that full 300, and that is going to be the major prize awaiting one of these teams. So here goes the Dokupi call, and here goes the entry. And Lika find himself a kill. It's ventilation workshop that Secret have chosen, so they're going back to that start they've already won, just to maintain that pattern.
I like the approach here. Rather than dumping 3 of their 4 Candelas in, like users just use the 1 and they use the Dokupi call to at least get themselves somewhat in towards the building or clearing out certain rooms immediately in front of them. Lika currently the only one actually inside the building, mind you. They get a freebie on Savage here.
Break room. One guy's in CC.
Gives himself away, barely even looking for a fight there. Back the other way. Noah also dangerously low. So Falcons in a good spot to see this round over the line. They've got a lot of utility to do it, Tim. They've got to hit the site and they're looking for it now. These smokes going to be a pivotal part of it. That Warden Band coming on through, as you said, want to see more pushed against that. This certainly is the way to do it.
Goes
off. From the environmental going out, that's not going to help.
It looked like we were going to see an impact here just being thrown randomly into the smoke there. Obviously, immediate concern. They're now aware of Doom's position in there in the corner. He's going to relocate himself slightly, but you just thought that the push was going to come through, and it didn't need to. Leaking back instead, just wanders his way through, manages to get the kill. Surely time to start thinking about getting this diffuser down. Mowgli on the fight back, but they haven't dealt with the Soulless.
Yeah, the Soulless from above, like an angel of death, just waiting. About working his way down here, gets a freebie surely, yes, and saves his teammate's life. Almost hits a second. Forget about playing from above, Tim. Why do that when you can descend to the realm of mortals and get a couple of kills on the way through? But Solotov slays him down a second one. He becomes the angel of death from the angel of death who, yeah, it all ends up the right way that it should. It's Falcons taking the round, Tim, moving up to match and series point. You got to win this next one, Secret.
I honestly didn't think that we would be in this position. I thought Secret were going to be the ones, I'll hold my hands up, I thought Secret were going to be the ones that would get themselves the opportunity to win it out in regulation, but it's not the case. Falcons have dug deep, they've fought back, and they are heading, I said historically, they've got a 50% attacking win rate on border. That would get them the 3 rounds that they need to win this in regulation. They've got 2. All they need to do is let history repeat itself. Just play to the stats, play to the numbers, and they will close this one out. I thought thought for a second they'd given it away there, where Pride got a little bit carried away, and I thought he sold himself pretty cheaply to Adrian, but ultimately
6-5 match point Falcons.
And it was all easy stuff
it's
for
going
Falcons.
To be a
Team Secret are going to
and
go
workshop site, the same
back
site.
to the same site.
Looks like it's doing the same
workshop.
setup.
It will be their last stand.
It's going to be the same setup as last.
All right. Well, it feels like Falcons have kind of figured out the
looks like with the bathroom extension.
Discovered the magic formula with their lineups to really make Secret suffer. And as it stands, Secret have been unable to stop it. Maybe Mowgli going across the yellow will help with it and take a little bit of sting out of the tail of this Falcon side, but I don't quite think it's going to be enough for them, unfortunately, Tim. They're showing that they like to use a bunch of utility early on to position themselves well, maybe get the entry, and then save the rest for the execute itself. So Secret have to know there's like a two-stage process that we've been following across the majority of these rounds. That has been the trend that we've seen building, and they need to be ready to adapt and deal with it.
IQ is just going to be scanning out, pinging those gadgets, of course, being brought along. There's so much value there. You've got the Soulless. They can find each other, both now on a 20-meter range. So we'll be able to see when those gadgets are active, as I think you just caught a... Yeah, there you go. You caught a little peek of there. Just catching the drone in player. It was Users that was being picked up behind. But yeah, the IQ going to be able to pick up on those black eye cameras, on the trip connectors, on the Gashmot mines, on Soulless. So much value can be found from Shaiko. Solotop manages to pick up Mowgli. That's a big start. He's been the talisman so far for Team Secret, but Adrian is there to step into the breach and find the kill onto Users. 4v4. They know this one half wall. They're going to have to clear this position. It's Adrian taken down.
You just died to a Denari trap?
Lucky, I guess. Still got the numbers advantages, so it's the most important part. Really need a Solotop to get that kill onto half wall as well, but unfortunately, it hasn't become the case. Tim, I hope you're warming up them vocal cords for that line, because there is only one way that this round is going. Outside,
it looks like it's going to go to overtime.
And Shaiko.
Yeah, it's almost certainly heading in that direction. 1 minute 20 left on the clock, so plenty of time, plenty of seconds for them to work with. But as you can see, that trip connector just across the window prevented any ingress directly into CCTV. Instead, it's going to be a look into breaks. Easy's man cannot find the kill. Noah picks it up, and as you said, it's heading there, Des. We're going to overtime.
Woohoo! It's about 3 of the final series. That's the way it has to be, Tim. And again, it's been so back and forth between the two that you can't really put your finger on which way it should go. Like, it's been a defend-decided border. We've had those 4-2 halves, but it has felt, at least to me, I don't know about you, but at least to me, it feels like Falcons have offered a little bit more on the attack. They've had a stronger idea. It hasn't always worked out, but I think their execute-focused compositions have generally been pretty good. And that is where I worry a little bit for Secret as we step into this next part. I'm not quite sure who starts on the defense. I imagine Secret, even they chose to start an attack. In fact, no, they may even go attack again. Okay, I actually don't know. We're going to find out now. It is Secret on defense. Okay.
Here we go then. Let's get into it. Round 13, a maximum of 3 more to decide who comes out top of the pops. Number 1 in the stage 2 of EML. This is the last matchup that we will see before Munich Major. We've almost got all of our teams decided around the world. I think there's still a couple of Brazilian teams just left to be confirmed. But beyond that, we know what the lineup is looking like, and both of these teams, I've said it so many times, winning is a habit. They want to take this grand final, they want to take the 300 SI points, and they want to take a win for themselves on the way into Munich. It would be the ideal start before they even get to the tournament. It's going to be Falcons on the attack. It's going to be Armory and Archives. We haven't seen a successful attack from Falcons on this site yet. Played twice, won twice by Secret.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about the 2 remaining LATAM teams to qualify, it's NIP versus Loss and Liquid versus W7M to decide who gets those final 2 spots. Still lots to enjoy on that front, but for now we've got to see how this one concludes. 3 rounds of fun, or terror, depending on which side you tend to lean. Noah down to half HP, being quite cheeky here, trying to hope to find someone out on the balcony. Both teams, I think, have been really, really conscious that we've seen, like, Nomad's brought along an awful lot as well to help deal with potential runouts or aggression, because both sides are now starting to expect and respect from each other that aggression is the name of the game on this map.
I think he just... No, I thought that Doom had seen the drone there, spotting him out, but I'm not sure he did. He was in his ADS. Could be a big problem because he won't necessarily know that the aggression is heading his way. Surely he sees it that time, goes across clear as day at his feet. So no excuses now for Doom getting picked up unexpectedly. Don't be cold does come in. Do Falcons push on behind this like we've seen them do so many times before? Yes, they do. It's going to be Doom picked up. Headshot from Leakerback. 5 versus 4. Advantage Falcons.
It's a small start, Tim. Still a lot more to work through yet as well. Only the 1C4 remaining for which Secret can work with, mind you. So there's actually quite a lot of fighting for them to do. And when Leakerback's playing like this, Tim, enters double digits, a great shot onto Savage. Surely Falcons don't let a 5v3 slip away. There's one.
He's been dangerous and he continues to be so. Picks up Leakerback. That puts him on 14 kills for the day. Noah still alive. He's on 11. They've been the 2 top performers for Team Secret. Mowgli takes a ton of damage. Doesn't really dish out much in return. 4 versus 3. 45 seconds. It's not looking good for Team Secret right now, but it looks even worse after Solotov finds a double. It's 1 versus 3. Mowgli's on seriously low health. I think there's very little that he's likely to do here. Battling around top metal, will not be able to find Shaiko. Kill comes in. Falcons advantage. They get 2 chances to close this out and call themselves #1 in EML for now at least.
It has just been the Solotov and Mowgli show all game long. Those two going back and forth on who can multi-kill, who can clutch. And I came to it earlier on. We spoke about those 2 rounds that we saw clutched out by Solotov in rounds 4 and rounds 5. They could yet be the difference maker. Could have gone the other way if only Secret could have won one of those 2 rounds. Getting some brilliant shots out from Leakerback as well. Only for Mowgli to sort of spin it back on him again and start dancing around like he does. Wonderful stuff to watch. Now, of course, get to switch to see how Falcons defend against a Team Secret attack. And I think Falcons, from what we saw in that first half, were pretty convincing on the defense team. Quite aggressive in their defense as well. It took a few multi-kills coming out from Secret to get a couple of rounds over the line, but then we weren't sure they'd get any. So at least things are looking okay.
That's an interesting
I think Falcons could well wrap this up 8-6.
I don't disagree with how things are sat now. If we go back to that defensive half, I can say the same, but we saw how much it meant in the last round, and that is that Falcons won this side both times that they defended it. Secret unable to get a successful attack, but Falcons have just overturned that exact same statistic. We do have the Frost mats being brought along. Interesting choice. Look at that. We did see a wild popularity for Frost at one point in the pro play, but seems to have dipped off a little bit. Has been edging towards Capcan over the last sort of month or so, but Frost being brought back to the table, and honestly, might not be a bad shout here. Team Secret maybe not going to have it in the forefront of their mind, and it's so easy to worry about being in those gunfights that you just stray into one of those Frost mats.
I'm sure you can tell us all about straying into a Frost mats, Tim.
It's the one thing me and the pros have got in common, Des.
I remember she first made a reappearance in Pro a few years ago, and everyone was just like, oh, pros, they're too good, they won't fall for it. And we just kept seeing slam, 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 slam. It was brilliant. Same as Capcan, you'd expect people to be able to deal with it, but no. Savage looking ready to make a bit of a move here towards the waiting room too. Make his push on forward and towards the lobby and see if he can get something
trying to clear out Lucky Fact.
Nade in his hand coming up top as well. They're really trying to put the hurt onto Leakerback, who as of yet hasn't been pushed away. His teammates are around for support too. Now backing away. Secret starting to put this pinch on towards these stairs and on towards 90 with Shaiko. With a crucial entry here, Tim. Is that going to be what decides? Is this what gets the ball rolling towards the Falcons win?
Yeah, he stares, might not really count for much. That nade is going to be a good one though. June manages to pick up Breeder. There was absolutely nowhere that he could move. It means that they know that there's one below. Shaiko's been backed into a corner, but we know how dangerous he is when that's the situation. 4 versus 3 as Mowgli manages to find Solotov. This one looks like it's headed for the only place it was ever destined to go, Des, which would be 15 rounds. But Shaiko says maybe not. Falcons find the answers. It's all up to Mowgli. Anybody can. It's him, but he can't.
Shaiko wins his
gets the final kill. Why is it always him? Falcons Falcons secure top spot
Falcons
in EML.
are the winner
Why
of
is it always him, Tim? That Psycho.
with
Always
250
finding yourself in crucial
SI
spots. What a
points
great
to
series
their
we've had
name.
though between two of EU's best.
Alright, fam,
of
I'll
course,
catch
G2
y'all
finishing
later.
in third place. These two giving us one hell of a show all the way through to
One
the
hell of a
overtime
show,
of the
yep,
third and
definitely.
final match.
Alright, fam, I'll catch
What a way
y'all
to
later.
close it
Peace
but
out.
it's Falcons taking all 300
Great night, rest of
SI
you.
points.